Greetings, YouTube. I've been a Dilbert fan since pretty much day one when I became aware of Dilbert. And he's geeky, he's an engineer, and he's got wacky associates and pets, kind of pets. Animals he lives with, let's put it that way. And there are lots of things about the strip that I've always really enjoyed. Now, as I become more aware of the world around me and become less oblivious to the issues that other people are experiencing, as my empathy, sympathy, and compassion increase, I've come to realize that there are problematic things about Dilbert, and I really hadn't gotten to the point where I would walk away from it, but I've just become more and more aware. Well, recently, someone upped the game and has taken the awareness of the problematic aspects of the author to a whole new level. And they have created a Tumblr called MRA Dilbert. And the tagline is, "I have no mouth and yet must mansplain," taking the words of Scott Adams and combining them with the art of Scott Adams. This is a work of parody, duh. So they've actually taken just the standard strips that Scott Adams himself has drawn and then replaced the word bubbles with an exact font switch, which was really very, very well done, with his actual words. So you have I'll let the words stand for themselves. Okay, I'm going to read you a couple of them. "Remember that identity always beats reason, and Clinton has made it clear that in her view men had their turn. A big chunk of Democratic men might be lying for social reasons about supporting Clinton. They might lie to friends and they might lie to pollsters. But on voting day, in the privacy of the voting booth, no lying is required. On voting day, people vote for identity." Now, I'm a Bernie supporter. Make no bones about it. I want Bernie Sanders to be our president. But if it's choice between anyone else and Clinton, Clinton's got my vote. Flat out. Okay? Don't worry. This continues. This one it touches on a video I did recently dealing with the absurdity of the whole alpha meme. First, we must acknowledge that all people are different. Roughly speaking, I would say 20% of men are alpha types and 20 are pure betas, and 60 are lifestyle betas, meaning they have made a conscious decision to control their ambitions and base desires in order to focus on the needs of their families. My prediction based on the persuader is based on the persuader master persuader filter is what a majority of male Democrats will abandon Clinton in the privacy of the voting booth. What an absolute fuckwit. Here's another. "What about Hillary Clinton's identity message? Clearly she appeals to strong alpha women who identify with her political strengths and impressive success. But what about men? Now that Clinton has played the women card and said it in public debate that her gender is a selling point for the job of president, how does a man vote for that?" This one was bizarre because I'm not actually getting all of the references, but it is interesting. In 2015, I showed you the future, literally. Then I topped it off by giving thousands of you the best orgasm of your lives. Again, literally. I have no idea what he is discussing, but I gotta tell you that it sounds a whole lot like his ego has run rampant. Hypnosis is a cumulative thing. Imagine starting with a small quantity and doubling it every day. The last doubling is the big one. This plan will only work if you want it to work, and this is the true of hypnosis in general. But in this case, I don't know anyone who objects to having a great day. I don't think he understands how hypnosis works. Apparently, he considers himself to be a hypnotist. I didn't know that. I predict toward the bottom of this post that Trump is setting up the country for a mom versus dad showdown with Clinton, at least in our irrational minds. When election day comes, if the country needs a big mom wins, but if there's a noise downstairs, you probably want dad to get the baseball bat before mom does because you're a sexist. And this particular one has Dilbert shaking in rage. And I can understand that. This man is uncategorically a misogynist. So I've been faced with a tough decision. What do I do about the Dilbert comic? Can I separate the Dilbert comic from Scott Adams? Can I still enjoy Woody Allen films separated from the reprehensible man that Woody Allen is? Can I still enjoy Peter Sellers films knowing that he was a date rapist? That knowing the problematic histories of the creators, can I still enjoy their art? And at this point, I'm still enjoying the art. Now, there may be a point where I'm not. There may be a point when I say, okay, I can't do anything with Dilbert anymore. I'm done. But that hasn't gotten here yet. And I hope it doesn't. I hope maybe that for some stroke of genius that Scott Adams will eventually wake up and realize that he is a misogynist and he is just hurting the world around him by perpetuating, for example, the bullshit that is the alpha male meme. Yeah. Anyone that calls themselves an alpha male is not an alpha male. Scott Adams is not an alpha male. Scott Adams does not understand the sociology of humans at all. It's sad. Now, maybe this is a derivative of engineer's disease, where someone becomes an expert at a thing, and they believe they become an expert at all things. I'm not an expert in anything. And I freely admit this. I know quite a bit about a whole lot of stuff, though. And as I get older, and as I read more, as I make an effort to understand, my understanding broadens, and the interconnections begin to show. Scott Adams doesn't seem to be aware of this. I don't know how he got this far in life without noticing it. But he's been very successful. Or at least financially. He's famous, right? Isn't that good? But he's using that fame to do harm. Just like Orson Scott Card is using his fame to do harm. In Orson Scott Card's case, he's a general social conservative and a homophobe. He's also a misogynist. Scott Adams at the moment seems just to be wacky and a misogynist. I don't know if he actually is also a homophobe. I haven't touched on that one yet. I know that he actually has a gay character in his comic now, so maybe that's progress. Oh yes, and for anyone out there who would like to tell me that diversity is pandering, that is also bullshit. Diversity is reality. The world is diverse. If you have an all-white or an all-straight or an all-anything cast, either in a comic or a TV show or a movie, that's pandering. If you have a CEO board of a corporation, which is nothing but old white dudes, that's weird. Not a CEO board or the cabinet of a government that actually has diversity in it. That is not weird. That reflects reality. Go look at Canada. So here you go. Go check out the Tumblr. It's only like 6 pages long. It's not going to take you long. It's only been up for like 8 weeks. But it's amazing. It's astounding. It's disturbing and depressing. But you just put the words of the author with the art of the author. Stand back and marvel.